Hello and welcome to another edition of the OCVarsity Gridiron Show, Week 5. I'm your host, freelance video journalist Jonathan Khamis, being joined by Steve Fryer to my left and Dan Albano to my right. Guys, our game of the week this week is a good one. It is Thursday night, not Friday night, as San Clemente will be on the road to take on Corona Del Mar. This will be at Newport Harbor High School Thursday night. Guys, the Tritons beat Edison last week 28-21. A huge comeback, scoring 21 points over the last 16 minutes. Two late picks helped out in that one. Steve, I know you were on the phone with head coach Jaime Ortiz earlier today, asking him how to defend these mighty Corona Del Mar Sea Kings. What was his answer?
Basically, you got to put some pressure on Ethan Garbers. And the one time that seems to have happened effectively this season is when Corona Del Mar beat Palos Verdes. And that was their tightest win of the year so far, 20-10. And so Jaime Ortiz is thinking he's got to have to do that against Garbers. Garbers is a really tall guy. You know, he's 6'3", and he's got all these big receivers. You know, Schlamm is 6 foot whatever. Humphreys is 6'6", and so, you know, putting pressure on a tough guy like that, man, you better put your arms up in the air when you go after.
Your pick?
Corona Del Mar. I think their offense is pretty studly. San Clemente's defense, that's their forte, but I think that CDM's offense is going to keep rolling, and you got to have to match points with Corona Del Mar, and I'm not sure that San Clemente's offense, which has been pretty good so far, played some good teams down in San Diego County. I'm not sure that San Clemente can match them touchdown for touchdown.
Okay, Dan, Corona Del Mar, they're 5-0 for the first time since 2013. They're averaging 44 points per game, but they're coming off a bye. San Clemente's coming off a red-hot win. Does that play into any effect? Will there be some rustiness from Corona Del Mar facing a quality top 10 opponent like San Clemente?
No, and it's actually I think it helps most teams coming off the bye. They're going to be fresh. They've had extra time to prepare. It's hard to prepare during the regular season where it's the grind every week. You know, you don't have a lot of preparation. They got the double preparation. You know, last year this was a great game, 21-20. Corona Del Mar rallied. And I think, Corona Del Mar is my pick where they have a lot of firepower. You know, Bradley Schlamm leading them with 31 catches, over 400 yards, 7 TDs. And he's actually got 2 TDs in the special teams. He's returned a kick for a touchdown, a kickoff return for a touchdown, and a punt return for a touchdown. So maybe he's a difference maker. But I like this matchup secondary of San Clemente. You know, as I mentioned last week, now they're up to 9 interceptions already this year. And you pair them against that, excellent aerial attack by Corona Del Mar. I think that's a pretty good matchup. And interesting, in the summer, in the finals of the Huntington Beach passing tournament, it was Corona Del Mar beating San Clemente.
Okay, all right. So we're looking forward to this great game Thursday night. Guys, let's go to game number 2. It will be Capistrano Valley taking on Cypress at Western High School Friday night. Capistrano Valley beat Trabuco Hills last week, 42-24. This game was basically over at the half. D'Artagnan Mocio had 3 touchdowns, including 2 to Jack Haley.
Capistrano Valley lost some good dudes, from graduation last year, quarterback Manning, et cetera. But they still got some good offensive firepower. They got Jack Haley, also real good shortstop at receiver, and Brady Casper at receiver as well. So they're still pretty good. And they got a really good edge rusher guy named Patrick Griou, who's a pretty good defensive end. Good defensive club for Capistrano Valley. Tough game for me to pick, guys. But I think we kind of look at the rankings. I'm not sure exactly, who we go on this one, but I think we go with Cypress. I think, and Dan's going to talk about what a great running back Hurtado is. They're going to control the clock and move the chain, so I like Cypress in this football game.
Cypress is undefeated currently, and Steve mentioned it. Hurtado, I mean, this guy on the ground, he's something else to watch. When he's fully healthy, he can get it done, and he can be as good as anybody. It's another great public school versus public school matchup here, Dan. Cypress, of course, coming off a bye. Like Corona Del Mar, their last game, they shut out Sonora 2 weeks ago. Hey, but the teams they've beaten, Dan, they're only combined 5 of 15.
Yeah, they haven't played nearly the schedule that Capo Valley has played. And this would be a great baseball game, by the way, too. As for so I like these schools competing against each other. It'd be a hard baseball game to pick too. Right. But this is going to be a litmus test for the Centurions. Where are they the class of the Empire League? Can Cypress win and get something going in the Empire League? They're going to have to play well, maybe win this game to show me that they are that team. You know, the numbers so far on Hurtado: 62 carries, 687 yards, 9 TDs. He's also catching the ball a little bit more this year now that he's healthy, so he's going to be a big part of it. And Dylan Eldridge, quarterback, 26 of 43 for Cypress. 471 yards, and then he's got about 7 touchdowns. He was a transfer, lower level transfer from Los Al, who's made an impact already for Cypress. So I think that I agree with you guys. This is a tough game to call, but Cypress coming off the bye, I think with Hurtado, they got a chance to win this game with that, the player out with Capo. I'm going to pick the Centurions.
Okay, let's go to the final game, which is 4-0 Marina, the surprise team perhaps in all of Orange County this year, guys. They're 4-0. They will be taking on El Modena. This will be at Segerstrom, of course, because Fred Kelly is not available until next year. The Vikings, hey, they were winless in 2014, and they last made the playoffs in 2001. But, man, you wrote about them, Steve, recently. The Marina Vikings, they're on a little bit of a roll here, and good for them.
Yeah, really good defensive group. Linebacker's really good. Nathan O'Rourke's really good for that football team. And so when you write about, this team hasn't been 4-0 or 5-0 since whatever, and nobody's really sure about this, you get all kinds of emails coming at you. So here it goes. They were 5-0 in 1994, and then they lost to Los Al in the Sunset League opener, and then got beat pretty bad by Fountain Valley. Didn't make the playoffs. They were 5-0 in the year 2000 as well. Didn't make the playoffs that year either. So, here's Marina. But now that was the Sunset League days. Now they're in the Big Four League, which is a better fit for them. Sometimes when the schools get re-leagued, they find the right spot. I think Marina's got the right spot in the Big Four League, but they're a pretty good football team. Coach Jeff Turley really likes his guys. They were having a tough time against Laguna Hills in their opener, and the way that Coach Turley described it was the kids all looked at it, okay, enough's enough, man. Let's get this thing going. Turn around, won that game. They've been on a roll ever since. As far as like who to pick in this game, man, we got them both ranked at number 25. I saw Modena last week. They're a pretty gritty group of guys. I know Dan's going to talk about them some, but man, I don't know. I kind of like the way Marina's on a roll. So at this moment, I'm going to pick the Vikings to take it.
What do you look forward to in this matchup? Marina, Elmo, two feel-good stories. What do you say?
Well, I think Vanguards are playing pretty well too, and this is a very interesting game, I think, for Marina and for Elmo. But, for Marina, this is a chance to compare themselves against Segerstrom, because that's a team that El Modena beat. I think it was like 19-14, 19-15. So there's a comparison, because Segerstrom is in that same league with Marina. So that's going to be a key factor in this game. And then, El Modena is, they beat Fullerton. They beat that was a quality win against Arthur Shaw. So they've seen good running backs. They usually play real good defense there, and they're going to see, El Medina is going to see this combination of Rush and Riedrich for Marina. So I'm going to pick El Medina to keep it going. Those Crestview teams, they really grind. They play. Those cross conference games are really tough. They play a tough schedule, and I think El Medina will do this. But I think Marina, it could be headed to the playoffs. We'll see how they respond. They have some, Segerstrom's looking good in league, and we'll see where Garden Grove rallies up. But Marina seems like they're on the right track right now.
All right, keep it up, public school teams. We'll be talking about some other teams next week as we slowly head into league. We're pretty excited about the preseason schedule finishing up. Thanks to Steve Fryer. Thanks to Dan Albano. I'm Jonathan Khamis, and we'll see you at the games.